We are live.
Hey.
Hi, folks.
What's going on?
We're back with another Behind the Investigation episode with Jared
And Brent.
and
Ed.
the whole team's here. Actually, Jackie's in the shower.
You ain't got a
some
camera
people
now?
already in the chat. People's already in the chat. So tonight, folks, we're going to be talking about some things. We're going to be talking about our last investigation. Hello, Andrea, Greene County, Northeast Georgia mountain folk.
Hey.
Researchers. Hello, everybody.
What's going on?
Thanks for being in the chat already. Deb, you can go ahead and post your premiere link after we get done here at 10 o'clock. Deb's going to have a premiere, and you can go ahead and post that link in there, Deb, if you want. But we will... Hey, what up, bro? How are you? Still working.
Still
hard
working.
individual there. Ray was always working.
Hey, here's a tip. If you click on comments, I can see all the comments. I can't see it in private chat.
You can't?
No, I had it on private chat.
Oh.
And I was like, why don't I see this? And then I was like, oh, wait a second.
So we got the whole team here tonight. Except for Jackie. Like I said, she's in the shower. But we are... Yeah, me too, Ro. Me too, Ro. Tired of it. We all are. We're going to talk about part 2 of episode 3. So episode 3 was well received. Brent did an excellent job doing it, putting it together.
As always.
As always, the video creator. I would say that me and Ed did a pretty good job investigating.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it was well received by the YouTube family. Hey, Andrea, how are you? The YouTube family, I think it's over, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's at 64 hours watch time already, which is pretty good for us. People loved it. And we have turned episode 2 over to the society that controls the location for approval, and we're waiting for that, and hopefully we can premiere that next week. Jane, what's up? What's up, Jane? So there's a lot of things in there too. Brent, would you like to elaborate on episode?
I don't want to give a lot away. There's a lot that's said. It's definitely interesting stuff. I really don't want to give a lot away, so I say just it was cool. It was I really enjoyed episode 1. To be honest with you, like what they were saying in episode 1 blew my mind.
One was great. I mean, I hate to say this. I mean, 1 was so great that I felt kind of let down by 2.
I know, and don't let that. Yeah, don't let that sway you guys. Definitely watch it. It's very cool. A lot of cool stuff comes through. A lot of awesome captures, and just episode 1 for us, it like raised the bar with what we can get out of an investigation, and it was a continuation. This is just a continuation of this investigation. So,
and the funny thing is, there's still a lot of stuff that.
Hey, Michelle, how are you?
That what?
A lot of stuff we didn't get in there on too. I mean, I know there's stuff from being actually there. It's like, it just one time and 2 a little controversial a little bit to get in there.
Yeah,
there was a little bit of controversy because what we found was totally different from what history was told. A little bit. So, yeah. Michelle, how are you? Bass, thanks for coming in. Joe, you are blue now, so you can post your link when you want. Brent, I would like you to subscribe to Paranormal Side after this. He's part of the family. Joe on Paranormal Side. He's right up the street from you, Brent, North Carolina.
I'm pretty sure I'm already on, but let me just check.
Yep. So how's everybody's week been?
Mine's been good. I'm hearing an echo, by the way. Are you guys hearing the echo?
I am not.
Is it going down? My phone was by. I had to make Joe a moderator.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody can post their links whenever they want. I'm giving free access. It's freedom here.
Some places in the world it ain't, huh?
Some places, which takes me to the things this week that we've seen happen in the world. Makes me happy that I am a Christian and that I am a child of God, because I know He has a plan.
Indeed.
You know what I mean?
I do know that.
There is a plan behind this, and one day we will find out what the plan is. But it is what it is. We pray for Ukraine. And, not for the commies. But enough of that. Enough of that. So we're also going to talk about our past investigation Saturday, which was the Rising Sun Inn. Hello, Ethereal. How are you?
What's going on with that? Did anybody else hear that echo?
I did hear it at that time, Brent. I don't know what's going on. Let me see. Oh, Twinkies acquired. Mock, what's up, brother?
Hey, Mock.
You just missed the commie rant, but okay. Me and Mock talk about commies all day. But we're going to talk about our investigation Saturday, which was an awesome investigation, I think, by all. What do y'all think?
I had an awesome time. That was cool stuff. It's first time things for me, and which was cool.
First time place for all of us.
The first time place, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was actually the first paranormal investigation, legit paranormal investigation of the location. So they run their own ghost tours out of there, but they've never had a paranormal group come in and try to get answers for them. And right. I'm just going to let y'all talk for a little bit and talk about your opening session in the basement.
Yeah.
You got me and Brent like really excited off the bat.
Go ahead, elaborate. Just tell the folks what happened.
So Brent and I, we started off down in the basement, and we've been using the little cat balls, little balls that cats knock around, they light up and everything. And I've had them for at least every investigation we've been on for I don't know, about a year or so now. Never seen these things go off once at all, unless we've tapped them ourselves. Mm-hmm. Brent and I get down there, we start recording, and first thing that happened before the flashlight comes on, the REM pod, anything, that cat ball lights up. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Yeah.
And I'm just like that, like a little kid, Like I
just
saw
there is no way we'll be able to edit that video and not make ourselves look like giddy little school kids, because we geek out.
Yeah.
It's got to be in there.
I sat it on a rocking chair, but that rocking chair was really heavy. You couldn't move it. There's no wind down there to make it move. I mean, I had to put my whole hand on it and force it to move, and it was sitting on flagstone, so it was, solid down there.
I gotta say, before he did that, I actually was like, Ed, all right, Ed, stop. Wow, how? Explain it. Other than make that happen. What's the reason? There's gotta be another reason.
Yeah, I stopped on the floor, everything. I mean, like I said, like normally you hit a rocking chair like this, you can make it rock a little bit. I had to, force it to go. It's the good old
heavy rocking chair wasn't moving. That was awesome.
Yep. So while this was happening upstairs, me and Jackie started our investigation off, and Jackie was touched for the first time.
Right.
And you should have seen her face, because when she realized that, hold on a second, there is a hand on my leg, she went, what? She's like, I just got touched. I just got touched. Yep. I feel like there's a little hand on my leg. It feels like this. So, I mean, we're literally 20 minutes into the investigation, and things started to pop off.
Yep.
And yeah, Ed comes up and he's like, "Hey, I think you guys should come downstairs." And I'm like, "Oh, there's things popping off up here too." You know.
I mean, it was at that we had actually talked about we were going to take everything really slow and not introduce a lot, and like they just started playing with everything, and me and Ed were like, they're already ready, man. We were both feeling
ready
like they're ready. They got something to say.
Was it the REM pause? Everything that didn't go off?
Yeah. I was ready for that to go off, but it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, we got really good interaction with the flashlight, especially downstairs when Jackie and I were downstairs at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, I got the little girl, her age, and her name. So,
thanks, Eli. Eli has shared us out. I appreciate that, brother.
Hey, thanks, Eli.
So, you know that place, I was a little worried going in, but the thing is, like, when we walked away that night, the folks really loved us.
Like, yeah, they were very pleased. They wanted us. Yeah, they were excited for us to come back, even, and they were great. I mean, just as hosts, and you know, you're always concerned about if there's other people that are going to be on site and how they're going to act, and you know, what kind of volume, talking wise, they're going to have. I mean, they were so awesome.
But they literally
of our investigation, and they brought whiteboards.
Yes, they weren't talking
to communicate with each other. So
I mean, it was just so considerate. I was actually moved by that. That was really cool.
Thank you, Ethereal. I appreciate it.
One more thing though that I thought was pretty cool. We tried something new, and I would actually like to ask anybody, other people, to try this if they have apps that or anything that speaks that doesn't show what it is, especially if you have like the I don't know anything that does that. But we were using what were we using?
We were using your phone.
Yeah, no, we were using the Apple Box. Shocker. So we took out my phone and put it on the note app. You know, you can write notes and use the microphone, and just set it there to see what it would pick up. And it started picking up the words it was saying, so we could read what it was, what it was picking up. And that was a pretty cool test. It was our first time doing it, and I would love to see have other people try that and see what they turn up with it.
We got some really cool responses on that thing. Like, you can find her at the boat.
Talk to her. You can find her at the boat. At the end, it was like, "Thank you for helping."
For trying to help.
For trying to help. That's right. I was like, I mean, I geeked out on that too because I was just punching you in the shoulder, like.
So me and Brent
and you're like, the camera down there.
Brent's got the camera up here, and he's like, and I'm like, "Hey, put the camera down. Look at that shit right here."
I was geeking out, dude. I was like, "Holy crap, this is working."
Courtney's in. All right, Courtney.
What up, sis?
What up, sis? Everybody can post their links whenever you want to. Go ahead. Post it. Hey, Rose back. We got the whole family in here.
Ethereal said, "Dig the beer." Is that your beer? Your little stubby beer? Said Ethereal said, digging the beer.
It's the Coors Banquet beer with the little barrels. I think they're cute.
You did not.
Oh, God, you said it again.
You said it again, Ed.
2 cards.
Ed said I lost my man card when I said that. So that is what it is. We're also going to touch a little bit on, we'll come back to this. We're going to reach out to Ed, because Ed is our
sensitive.
He's our sensitive.
I'm something, that's for sure.
And
you got a gift.
What's going on, what he's feeling, and we typically go from there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna tap into Ed and see what he's feeling. Brent, do you wanna lead this up?
Yeah, I do. I mean, like, so we've been on a few, Ed and you and I've been on a few investigations with you. I know you've been on more with Jerry because I'm not around the way. But I tend to like look to you so much throughout the night. And, we have talks beforehand, like, dude, don't block. Don't try and think through. And like, I don't understand it. I talk like I kind of do, but I have no clue. And I know it's, now that you have it fully defined, but I'm so interested in it. I think it's amazing, and I think it's so helpful in our investigations. And again, we've been on a few together. I was skeptical coming into, was it Howard County? I think it was our first team on all together, and I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. Just like with the flashlights, and when you see it in action, when things start lining up. It's one of those, how is this working? So, I mean, I really just want to ask you if you're comfortable just kind of giving first, I just want to know, what do you feel? What does it actually kind of come on like?
It's kind of hard to say because I started hearing things like somebody's talking to me, and like, I guess the proper term is clairaudient, like, you guys might ask a question and I'm hearing an answer, but to me it's like, oh, you're crazy, and that's my thing is I gotta get over that hump where I think I'm crazy and I'm actually getting, like the other night, Brent, when you and I were walking up out of the basement and I literally heard a female go, oh, he's a tall one.
Yes.
Earlier talking about me bumping my head on the rafters, and then when you and I left and we're walking up the steps, I hear, oh, he is a tall one. And I'm just like,
because we were crouched down in the basement the entire time, and you stand up.
I'm 6'1" and the rafters are 5'11". Like,
I was a little worried for Ed's head that night.
If I spun a wrong piece of flagstone, I'm cracking my head without a doubt.
Yeah.
Like I did it one time. So, but
so when you say you hear it, is it like, it's not like audible hearing though, or is it?
No, it's like your subconscious.
Okay.
Kind of like you're in the store and you're shopping for stuff and you're like, hey, I gotta get the peanut butter, but it's that thought in your head that's not coming through. Like that extra voice, like, oh, hey, okay, I gotta do this. And other times, like I can visually see something, kind of like my imagination kicking off. The thing about like when you're a kid and you just imagine something. Like to me, like for instance, if I didn't see this, but this is the best way to describe it to you is when we were down in the basement, we saw that cat ball go off. I kind of did see it a little bit. Like I see a little girl there and she's just tapping it and smiling about it, But
I remember you saying, like, I remember distinctly you were like, when I was like, I think we should grab them and get this ITC going and do a real-time communication. And you looked at me like, I'm seeing them actually, someone just like clapping joyfully, like, yes, let's talk.
Yeah, and I told you it was a female clapping.
Yep.
For that, like they wanted to talk to us in real time.
Yep.
And get with us. I think we call it, like, sitting here thinking about this a little bit now, and Jared and Jackie both getting touched upstairs. And when I went upstairs by myself, I got nothing. I got the flashlight to go off one time. That was it. And I almost wonder if something was going on upstairs with the two of them being touched, where it was telling us, hey, we need to go get them and bring them down. Because
you got to remember also,
Jackie had to be down there.
Yeah.
Upstairs. Also, Abigail, she gravitates towards women more, and we were in Abigail's room when Jackie got touched.
Okay.
So,
I will say there is a sad moment that happened in this investigation, and I feel bad for Jackie. She's the only one that did not see that cat ball go off, and she wanted to see it so bad. And I feel so bad for her.
Well, she's actually out of the shower, and she's over there crafting right now, and she just shook her head like,
I know, sis. Oh, I'm so sorry.
We tried, babe. We tried. Yep. No, you were. We'll get it. We'll get it for you. I promise. But let's.
A video she needs to review then.
Yeah.
Webb, what's up, brother? How are you? You're blue. Go ahead. Everybody post your links. Southern Love Paranormal, you're blue too. Everybody go ahead and post them. Jane says hello, Jackie. She waved back. She's very busy right now doing crafts. But let's delve further into Ed's abilities, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
When did you first, Ed? When did you first realize this?
Oh,
that was my question.
So let me go back a little bit here. I actually grew up in a house that was on a haunting on Discovery Channel. Yeah,
What?
yeah, yep. I think it's referred to as the Herondale House. I had nothing horrible happen to me or anything there. So I mean, you guys are familiar with the area we live in and everything. So I was walking. I live by the old Herondale Mall, and I was walking to the bus stop one morning, right along Ritchie Highway.
Yep.
And I was probably about 10, 11 years old. And it's raining. I got my little umbrella on my way to the bus stop, you know. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing the current world. But over top of that, I'm seeing an older time, like World War II era time, right? I'm seeing military people and everything. But I'm seeing it like overlaid with our current world. Yes, I know everybody in the chat. I am crazy. Okay.
You ain't crazy. That's wild.
These are all paranormal people. You're not crazy.
So I have no history of all of the Herondale area at that time, right? So I'm like, what? You know, this went on for probably about like 2 blocks. I'm like, what in the world's going on here, right? So fast forward, what? 15 years or so, almost, yeah. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, about 15 years. I'm watching Discovery Channel and I see my old house pop up on there, which I do a little bit of research to find out that was my old house I grew up in. You know, Bill Bean, if you look him up, it was
Bill Bean.
His house.
That's it.
So I'm like, holy crap. Well, at the end of that episode, they said that where the house was built was on a World War II military camp. So Fort Meade, Maryland was a training ground during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea where I lived at was a military training camp. And what I saw overlaid with the real world was World War II stuff, you know? So that's like my first, oh, wait a second. And I always kind of had things like circled around me a little bit. When I lived in that house, I would hear things and, you know, and I just, oh, that's your imagination going off, you know? Like I hear a trumpet playing at night and that's a kid across the street playing his trumpet at 11 o'clock at night, you know? And when I lived with my dad for a little bit, I heard things in his house and all, and overactive imagination is how I wrote it off. But then once I started getting into the paranormal, going out investigating and everything, and I was like, okay, there's a little bit more into this. And then started talking to Rebecca from Antietam and all about it. She was, you know, like, no, you need to hone in. She's the one that was like pretty like, you have a gift. You need to tap into this. You need to learn more about it. You know, then
don't push it away.
Yeah, Desiree from the other team.
People push it away.
You've got to get this, but it's so hard because when you have something, and I mean, look at society nowadays. You know, like if I go out there and I can walk up to somebody, hey, your grandmother wants to tell you something. You know.
Oh yeah,
you're right off the bat. You're done. You're crazy. You're going to wind up in an insane asylum somewhere.
Yeah, to be honest with you, most people don't want to hear that, even if they say they do. You know, it's
exactly. I mean, and like the more I've gone out to investigate, especially with you guys, the more I get. And when I let it flow, it comes out. I think I point out to you, Brent, in one of the videos, I'm sitting there like this, and I'm just starting to rub my chin. It was in Gresham Part 1. I'm just like, uh-oh. And I got it come on. I mean, Jared, you saw in Gresham. I mean, I was spot on. I knew what room he died in. I knew the spot he fell in and everything. And we got the, hey, get off me in that spot. The light came on when I said it. We got the EVP, you know, the disembodied voice, everything.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and then, what do you call it? The, what was the other place I was thinking of too? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I mean, it comes in, you know, and as I go out more and more and more, I get it. I had a friend of ours who recently lost, you know, her son, and this before, like I even knew like mediumship, what it really was and everything. And her son was actually communicating through me. And tell you what, he was persistent, very, very persistent. Like you can hear me, you can talk. I ain't said 2 words to this kid his entire life other than, hey, good game. when he played high school baseball with my oldest, you know? And then he started off, and his way of getting into it was yo, 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 right? No idea. Well, talking to my son one night, and when I finally told him that I was hearing him, and I said that, my son broke down in tears.
Because he knew that was he always said that, right?
Yeah, so finally, like, he comes to me and he tells, you know, like, hey, you need to go talk to my mom now. And I was like, can't do it. His mom posted something on Facebook that night about seeing cardinals and always looking for signs from him. And I was all up the next day. So I was like, hey, can I stop by and talk to you? She's like, yeah, come on by. She knew I was coming by. She knew exactly what it was for, you know, that I was going to give her a message and everything. And I told her everything. And when I said that, yo, 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 she broke down, you know. And I'm like, no, you can't cry, because then I cry too, and we can't do that right now. But
That ain't gonna work that way.
Yeah, I mean, but the fact that I hit on it so much and everything, and like I said, as I go out more and more, and when I let myself open up, it comes. I was taking a couple classes and everything with a very good person that I trust with what she says, and she tells me all the time too. She's like, you got to open yourself up. Your gift is there. You just have to open up for it.
I'm like, I don't want a cap. I don't want a cap on you. I want you to take that cap off.
And I know, like,
let it flow.
I'm trying to think, was it in Benson Hammond? I think. You know, you also just grab a notebook and start jotting down, like, you know, at least let me write down these things.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is wild. Have you? I know we haven't really. We only know so much of what you're feeling and saying, and because I don't know if you're actually saying everything as it's coming out, as it's filtering through you. Do you find that?
I'm trying to filter it. Yeah.
Do you find that, like, when we're doing ITC or when you're hearing EVPs, that for a lot of times it's lining up, or do you feel like you only hear this person, not everything that's being said? Like, I know there's more than one here before. I know you've definitely said there's more than one spirit here, but then one seems to take your attention like that. To me, it's just from the outside. I'm just trying to analyze it and all. It seems like this one's like jumping on you, or do they all talk at the same time?
For 9 times out of 10, there's one that's going to be dominant, and like they're coming out more. Kind of like the other night, the little girl Liz. You know,
Yep.
She was dominant. She was on my leg the entire night. You know, hey, you can't stay with me. You gotta stay with her. But what call it? There's some nights like when we were at Benson Hammond last time, we weren't getting nothing. Jared's like, Ed, what you got? And I'm like, I got a block.
Yeah, because
and sometimes, you know, I'll get conflicting spirits, and that's why I try to process it too much, because I'm getting conflicting things coming in, you know.
Yeah, that night was.
I think you were all getting blocked from every angle.
I think we were purposely getting blocked.
Yeah, when I walked through that night, I was, you know, picking things up left and right, and, you know, like the normal stuff, but I would take them and be like, hold on, okay, this is definitely what I'm getting. And then once we got investigating, it's like all that stuff was gone. And I'm like, there's nothing coming through here. What's going on? It's not a normal night.
So I another interesting one before we change subjects or die this one down. I find this interesting. So you said this, you at least said this once, where you were like, Paul, again, how come I keep hearing the name Paul every investigation? And we get Paul in an EVP or somewhere in the ITC session. And it's like, does it confuse you, or you like make you question it? Because Paul's a common name, right? I mean, and I look at you and I'm like, that's gotta suck when you're like, dang it, is this another Paul? Is it the same Paul? You know, so can you associate? Like, do you see that voice as an image and like, oh, that is a different Paul or a different person? If you heard Liz again, would it be, oh no, that's not that little girl?
It depends on the location. So like the name Sarah pops up.
Sarah, that's another one, yeah.
Right. And when I was with Antietam out in Hagerstown when they did a public tour one time, I went with them. It was that's a completely different Sarah than necessarily like I've gotten at Benson Hammond, you know. But like the name Paul, I'm trying to figure out where's the name Paul coming from. Is Paul traveling with us on a visit? Like we don't know he's there. He's traveling along, but why is he coming through constantly? Like, you asked about like the ITCs. They don't. It's not that they hinder me. They kind of allow me to focus in a little bit more on what's going on, you know. And then if I step away from the ITC for a little bit, then I can kind of take what I got there and bring it back. So, like for instance, when we go back to Gresham, we know what we got on the ITC this time.
Yeah.
And I know what I felt. So now I can be like, hey, I got this on ITC. I can pick up more on what's going on, you know?
Exactly. Very cool stuff. I still don't get it, but I'm amazed by it. I'm glad you got it.
I think Ed is a very, very important tool in our repertoire.
Yeah, you're a member of the tool. How's that?
Yep. And Ed, do you remember when your first investigation was?
Well, my first one was with you guys on a public tour at Benson Hammond House. I won't mention a person's name, but it's not Jared, and he's also in the video chat right now. He goes, hey, Ed, are you okay sitting in this room by yourself?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
You're a big, tough guy. You can handle this one, right?
And then he leaves me in there with the freaking SB7, the worst equipment ever. But you know what? I got a lot of really good responses on that.
You did, bro.
Yes, you did. You got them to count. You know, you rock and roll.
Festival, all that stuff, you know. And I felt like I got some good responses. And from there, just kind of went out with you guys. Anytime you had a public tour, then you guys broke the band up for a little bit there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I was like, hey, I want to do this full time, you know, try to find something to go out. And Antietam was looking for people. And I was like, well, Antietam's like an hour and a half away. You know, I can't drive out there, drive back. I have to get a hotel room every night. But luckily, the other team that I work with, they were looking for people, and they're right up the road where I work at. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll go out with them. I want to say like 2015 is when I started going out regularly.
Right on. You know, just thought of Jared.
What?
You know, just thought of.
What's up?
We called the Ed a tool, but you know, we got to change the batteries and everything. Charge it all up. Have you noticed that we do have to go to dinner to charge Ed up? Make sure he's fed. He's got the fuel he needs before every investigation.
Well,
Ed, are you good?
Paranormal right here. If you look down here, Paranormal says you use him more bets. He's been on every investigation with the new ones. So we're using the hell out of them. We're working them like a government mule.
Yeah, I just gotta be willing to let it fly more often. I mean, I'm getting better with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think when you came in,
Ed, you know, with this group here, we want you to be completely open.
Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly, when you like starting with Benson Hammond episode 1, I mean, you like started to, but then you like gradually more and more just been like, all right, screw it, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
What I'm feeling, you know, and let it out, and it's definitely been awesome. Well, and extremely helpful.
You know something that's funny? Think about the other night at Rising Sun Inn. They told you, "Oh, we get this back here in the boiler room, right?"
Yeah,
and that's where you guys want to set the camera up. And we walked downstairs, and what did I say? No, point the camera this way.
Yep.
Where's that camera pointed at?
Yeah, and everything was in
there. Hold on. This will be good for the people in the chat. We also got that
SLS
really odd SLS capture in that back boiler room where me and Brent both seen that dark matter back there.
Yeah, I agree. I will say though that the majority of activity and even my little feelings were all the attention was in that section.
But somebody was back there peeking around the corners.
There's something back there. I just felt, I mean, more was there at that fireplace. You know, where I said, "Hey, point the camera this way tonight." More was coming from that way, and sure enough, that's where it all came from that night.
Yeah, and you know, the one thing they did tell us about that none of us felt, and Ed, you didn't pick up on, was that negative emotion from the spirit that they claimed was down there.
No,
I didn't feel
nobody
anything.
felt
I was in
negative.
that basement alone for I don't even know how long.
And
Just sitting in the dark.
Brent doesn't have a sense of smell, but the spirit Moses was told. We were told that, you know, this spirit comes along with a scent of burnt,
Right, burning,
and he comes with negative emotions, and we never felt that or smelt that night.
yeah.
So,
and I don't feel like anything was being blocked. Like, I mean, it seemed like it was just on fire. Like it was ready to go. It was just overflowing. Yeah, and we haven't done the review yet. I can't wait to get into that review.
We actually moved this up in the rotation, so this is going to be episode 5 instead of what we had for 5 and 6. We moved it up, so episode 4 will be coming out after episode 3.2, and then this one. This one was a good one.
Yeah,
3.2, part 2. So you know what, Brent? While Ed's talking about his experiences in the Billy Bean house, it brought me to remember the experiences that you had in your house. Would you like to share those a little bit?
dude, there was so many, and it's part of the curiosity. I've been wondering if, like, people who tend to see and experience paranormal have some kind of, sensitivity, like as if there's different levels of it, it's just a curious question, a thought that I've been having, because
Hey, bad medicine.
there was a ton of experiences that I had growing up in our house. My mom, my sister, my brother all experienced stuff. My dad's the only one that didn't, and I think the one that actually sticks with me the most, honestly, is I was going up the steps this one time, like a kid running up on your hands and feet, and I got to the top of the steps, and my parents' room was to the right, and our cat was just puffed up and hissing. So of course I thought I spooked her, and I realized she was looking past me, and I turned and looked, and there was a shadow right here. It was with a smile, like literally I could see it smile. It just gave me chills thinking about it, and freaked me out. I've been so jumpy ever since. Like, I'm the jumpy guy in the crew. Like, I am the jumpy guy. And I will back up and I'm just like that. It's how my brain is. I'm expecting something at every turn because of things like that. And there was, but too much to fill up into this. That was an active house. But it does make me wonder if people who do experience and see, if they are just open and sensitive to, what's going on behind the veil.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So,
and of course, if we are, it draws us all to it. Everybody who's a skeptic says, "Oh, it's not real," and they haven't experienced it. Explain it away. I tend to try and explain everything with logic and da 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 da. There's no explaining that. That's not something you can be like, "Oh, I know what I saw. It wasn't just a kid's overactive imagination."
But here's the thing. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about skeptics. Prove to me it's not real.
Exactly.
Why is the burden of proof always on us? Why is it never on them?
Exactly. Hey, we have this thing that we say, we know how it works, and we have ears and we hear what it says. Tell me why it's saying it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you explain to me why this thing that's not supposed to be talking in full words is talking in full words? Go ahead.
Sentences.
Hey, can you tell me why this flashlight lit up when I said, "Hey, are you younger than 5 years old? Is your name Liz?" Why did it come on and go off exactly when I told it to?
Dude, like, and then multiple things in conjunction. You have the cat ball and the flashlight going super bright on with you and me, Ed. Like, whoa, and you got the two flashlights. I love the two flashlights, by the way. I will say, anybody's using flashlights, if you use two, that's the way to go. Because if both of them are coming on and going off same time, that takes away that, it's just a fluke.
Well, when
You
Jack
also
and I went
gotta-
down there, I swapped the two flashlights around. The one that was going off constantly, I moved that to the left, and the one on the left to the right, and then they both start going on and off. And I said, "Okay, turn them both on for this," and then I'd be like, "Okay, turn one of them off," and it was doing exactly what I asked.
Yeah, and that to me, that's a big win.
Yep. Also that night there was some very odd K2 hits. Very odd K2 hits. And
Interesting, they were really low, like a child, like not to the ground. You go to the ground, it would stop. You go up here, it would stop. But in the middle of the room, just kind of, waist level, it was popping.
Very odd, very odd. Yeah, so that I can't wait for that one to come out because, dude, I know we got so much more than what we heard that night.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just like, I'm really looking forward to episode 3 part 2 because I wish we would hurry up and get approved because I wanted to get out next week because I think this is really good. I think it is, and that session upstairs in the back bedroom, that's badass. To me, that session is good.
We all have our loves and different things we think are interesting. I find it interesting that I'm feeling like the stuff that I was doing through that remote, you guys were getting comments on what I was doing upstairs.
We had a Russian in here and Just E killed him. Thank you, Just E.
Hey, real quick to answer Courtney in the chat.
Yep, I'll put her up there right there.
Yeah, so was it? I never had anything follow me home. Well, hold on, let me take that back. I've never had anything I felt follow me home, but when I went to go see my friend Amber one time, she's like, "Hey, who's Jared?" Now she doesn't know Jared or anything like that. Not a common friend or anything. I went to her to go get the crystal Reiki done before I took a trip, and I was like, "Oh, he's a guy who I went out there paranormal with before." And she said, "He's got a soldier that attached to you through him," and I hadn't seen Jared in Christ a long time at that point.
Yeah,
but I mean, as far as I know,
we were already retired by then.
Yeah, I kind of. I mean, this was just what last November actually, or November of 2020 it was. But I mean, at home, I don't investigate at home. I don't open nothing up at home, nothing like that. My home stays blocked off from whatever,
And we always pray before and after, and we ask the Lord to not let them follow us home. And when you ask the Lord, He'll provide.
Hey, look.
Justy, I was going to say that. Justy asks, "Has anything physically touched it?" We've all been touched.
Yes, we've all been physically touched. However, Jackie was physically touched for the first time last Saturday.
I will say this because you made that comment about the protection and all, and he's asking this physically touched question. I will say, you can have all the protection in the world. You put that shield down and say, "Go ahead and touch me." You just opened up a window to allow. So everybody's ready for that.
Accept. You better be ready to accept it.
Yep.
Because, I feel like I wasn't ready to accept it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, right.
I let my guard down a little bit, Let's see what Courtney says right here. All right, so folks, we love Ed here. So, folks, 10 o'clock, we're going to be trying to get off here in a little bit, a few seconds. We're going to try to do, we'll go 2 more minutes, but after this, head over to Spectral Researchers and check out their premiere. But we do want to talk about our upcoming events. We have some public events where we're going to be raising funds for our locations, bringing the public in. We worked together as a group and came up with a form that will be given over to the societies. And we're going to be raising about $500 each tour for the location. And we're going to be going live on YouTube for this one. So we're going to be raising money for our local locations and providing y'all some content as well. But we also have some more. Who's that?
Who was that?
Who was that?
Ain't me.
That's tight. That's tight.
No. That was from Spectral. Copied the link and posted it up. But then it.
What was that?
From
That was the premiere. He was getting into the premiere.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
right.
counting it down. But she's got a
link up
premiere.
there.
But keep an eye out on the page or the channel because we're going to be going. Things are going to be going crazy. Everybody do a Battleborn raid over to Spectral. But we're going to be getting off of here right now. I think it was fun. Everybody, Go over to Spectral Researchers and check out that premiere.
Let's get on it,
For
guys.
me,
And Brent.
And Ed.
Pasadena Paranormal, we wish you adieu, and we will not let you walk into that darkness alone. See y'all.
Cheers.